Hello and welcome everyone for a webinar on new topic today, and that topic is anatomy of teeth. My dear students, we have recently finished the study of mouth, and in mouth we have studied the vestibule of mouth, oral cavity proper, anatomy of tongue, palate, hard palate, soft palate, palatine tonsil, fauces. But we have not studied anatomy of teeth, and it is very important part of mouth, but we are studying it separately today. And there is a branch of what you call surgery, dentistry, where the study of teeth and diseases, treatment, surgery, and all that is studied. BDS course is mainly, based on study of teeth. For us, the gross anatomy of teeth is required. I mean, for your level, gross anatomy of teeth is required, and that we will take today. Okay, here we go, anatomy of teeth, and I think one session is enough to complete the study of teeth because only gross anatomy we are going to cover today. And questions like longitudinal section of tooth can be asked, or you can say structure of tooth can be asked in examination. Well, now most of you have completed the 18 years of age and you have experienced the eruption of teeth in your own body and in your mouth. So some things you must be remembering, and plus you must be remembering the primary knowledge of teeth, like how many teeth are there and how teeth erupt, like what is meant by tooth, what is meant by teeth, names of teeth. This is a primary knowledge which everyone has. Okay, difference between tooth and teeth, the singular and plural, and names of different teeth. Okay, so we should know the dental formulae, various dental formulae always as well. Now let us go to dental formulae. Permanent teeth dental formulae is for adult and adolescent. It's separate. So see the number of teeth. So adult dental formula is of 32 teeth, but this is a adolescent dental formula is of 28 because four molars, I mean all third molars altogether, four of them, they erupt little late. Okay, so after the age of, mostly after the age of 18, 17, 18. That is why we have got that intermediate state. So most of you are having this adolescent dental formula. You can count your teeth at home today after the webinar and confirm whether you are in a 32 category or in a 28 category. Okay, but nobody from amongst you have a temporary teeth dental formula. Okay, because you are not kids now, it is only for children, and those are temporary treatments, they erupt and fall. And for children after the age of 6 months, there are 20 total teeth. So what is this 2 1 2 3? So 2 1 2 3 into 4 means 4 times your, so 2 1 2 3, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8. So total 8 teeth multiplied by 4, 8 fours are 32. So you have to remember and study only these 8 teeth, like 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars and 3 molars. This is a permanent teeth dental formula for an adult, which I have. Okay, and for adolescent, 1 molar is yet to come. So it is, you can't say that it doesn't there, but it is yet to come. So we have got a 2 1 2 2 means 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7. 7 4 is 28. Hope you understood this. And remember, this is a formula, okay? And you have to explain it because you have two jaws. So we have two jaws, upper jaw and lower jaw. So upper jaw, because our body is in symmetry, so 8 on each side. So that is why we count it as a 4, okay? Now in case of temporary teeth dental formula, it is in children before the age of puberty is all happen, and total number of teeth is 20. Two incisors, one canine, and two premolars. No molars are there. Okay, so 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. 5 fours are 20. So you can see that they don't have molars. And all these 20 teeth, so 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 and 5 on each side, upper jaw, 5 on each side, lower jaw. So altogether 20, and they fall after some time, and that we will study here. And this is what is called as schedule of baby teeth eruption and falling time of this teeth. So top means upper jaw, bottom means lower jaw. So these words because this is a baby teeth eruption chart. So all this nomenclature and coloring is used only to show that this is related to babies. But you are not babies. You have to remember. You have to do it by heart. For example, when there are two incisors, we call first one as a central incisor and second one as a lateral incisor. Or you may also call medial incisor and lateral incisor. Okay, the canine is first molar and second molar. Sorry, so this formula is, we call them as a molars because there are no molars and premolars category, so we can call them as molars. Here you can see 8 to 12 months is the time for appearance after the birth. Okay, if you take in all, central incisor of the lower jaw may erupt at the age of 6 months. That means up to the age of 6 months, there are no teeth in the mouth of a child. But after the age of 6 months, they start happening. First, lower central incisor comes, and then comes upper central incisors. And if you come, then comes upper lateral incisor 9 months, and then comes lower lateral incisors. Okay, and likewise you can see go on increasing the number of months. So for example, this is a period. Some children may get teeth eruption little later, depends upon that particular individual child. Okay, and that is why the range is given 6 to 10 months. So that means if some child doesn't get a eruption of central incisor or lower jaw at the age of 6 months, it is not abnormal. But these are milestones. If the milestones they get delayed, then you have to think of other things like why the teeth is not erupting, and that may be some disorder or disease. We come to that later on. Similarly, all this, if you come to the latest period of eruption, if you go from here, I noticed that the 33 months here, 33 months is the last. That means upper second molar erupts at the age of 33 months. Okay, latest by 25 to 33. So latest by 33. Now 33 means 24 months means 2 years. Okay, and plus here you can see 5 plus 3, 6 plus 3, 9 months. So 2 years and 9 months, almost in the third year, the second molar comes out. Similarly, all these teeth are milk teeth. They are also called as deciduous teeth, and they are temporary. So they have to fall. So this is a falling of teeth. Okay, here you can see falling of teeth. And falling of teeth also begins from 6 to 7. Now this was in months, now this is in years. So 6 to 7 years. So by the time their child goes to the first standard, so what you call nursery, UKG, LKG and all that, when it comes to first standard, the teeth start falling. So 6 years to 7 years is the first. Similarly, 6 years to 7 years here. So by the age of say maximum 12 years, okay, 12 years is here, you can see another 12 years here. So usually the molars, second molars, they take up to 12 years to fall off. That means by the age of 12, and the next year is 13. So it is a teenage. Teenage means that now that baby is no more a baby or no more a child. It comes to teenage means the time of puberty. So in this case, puberty time, the adolescent dental formula starts appearing, and that chart together with the dental permanent dental formula I'm showing you here. You can see all 32 tooth, because wisdom tooth is the only thing that is missing in the adolescent. It comes after the age of 17. So I told you the age of adulthood is 18 years complete. So in case of males, they erupt little later, so say 21 years. See, by 21 years almost everybody gets 32 teeth in their mouth, 16 on upper and lower jaw. So upper teeth and lower teeth. So you can see the temporary teeth fall and permanent teeth erupt. So central incisor 6 to 7 years and central incisor of upper teeth is 7 to 8 years. Similarly, similar to that. Now remaining years and all that you have to remember. I'm just trying to emphasize on eruption of teeth and what you call falling of teeth and appearance of permanent teeth, and the permanent teeth will fall any time and any with any reason. So for example, if you fall on ground on mouth at the age of 17, and if you get two three teeth what you call broken, they fall, and then you will not get any other permanent teeth after that. You have to go to the dental surgeon and put artificial teeth there. But by nature, after the age of 60, usually 60, one by one, these teeth start getting loosened and they fall. And then there are no more teeth in the mouth. Such old people have to use denture. So dentist will give them a denture. Now this is a denture. This diagram of denture itself. It's not a natural diagram. So denture they have to use while eating. Some people don't even use denture. They eat with the only with the mandible and maxilla jaw and that mucous membrane. So usually rich people or well-to-do people, they get denture because dentists provide them. Now you can see this first premolar is also called as first bicuspid, second bicuspid. Actually molars are for the last in the line. You can see here third molar is also called as wisdom tooth. The wisdom comes from wiseness. That means by the time you get wisdom tooth, you become an adult and you have a capacity to deal with everything which is related to you, and that in Marathi we call it shahanpana. But actually wisdom teeth is literally doesn't relate with the what you call wiseness. Wiseness has to come from your IQ and how you use it. Okay, शहाणपणा हा केवळ दातावर अवलंबून राहत नाही. So actually it is considered that your age of growth is complete. That means you will not grow anymore as far as the what you call ossification of the bones is concerned. You will not grow in height. Now you will grow in your breadth. आता उंची वाढणार नाही, आता जाडी वाढणार, असाच संकेत असतो थर्ड मोलारच्या अपीअरन्स नंतर. वेल, now we'll go to the anatomy of a tooth. Here you can see one image, and if you grossly divide any tooth, we have three parts: crown, then there is a neck here, and then there is a root. So on the and if you go for the study of longitudinal section of a tooth, you can see an enamel layer of a tooth, which is a bone in itself, which is hardest bone of the body. Inside you can see the cementum, okay, and you can see the gums, soft tissue, and and inner core is made up of pulp, which has got neurovascular bundle going there, nerves and vessels. And you can see this looks like a canal, so it is called as canal in the root, so it is called as root canal. So actually teeth get affected, diseased in this area, okay, and you require a dentist to take care of it well. Another part of tooth, if you want to study in terms of explanation, every tooth has got a crown. Crown means a mukut, which looks like a crown. So it consists of enamel, dentine and pulp. Okay, so the root has a root canal with blood vessels and nerves. Now these root are covered by cementum and held together by periodontal fibers, and these are embedded in the alveolar process of the bone. So mandible has got an alveolar process, and maxilla also got alveolar process. In that, alveolar process is a part of the jaw bones. So they are embedded in that, and they make a joint with the jaw bones. So we call them as a gomphoses. So they are actually, at the time of study of classification of joints, I told you the gomphoses, they belong to fibrous types of joints. We have studied synovial joints, fibrous joints, and cartilage joints. So these are the fibrous joints and gomphoses, peg and socket joints. And in the study of bone, we have not counted these 32 bones as a separate bones, because we have come to the number we call it 206 number of in 206. These bones, teeth bones, are not added as a separate bone. They are considered as a part and parcel of the jaw bones. Like lower 16 belong to the mandible and upper 16, 8 each to the maxilla, because maxilla are 2 and mandible is 1. Well, I think that this has to be corroborated with the study of osteology and as well as study of arthrology. So you never forget that. It's helpful for that also. Now you see that two hard material of the bone are present in the crown, enamel and dentine. And another is a cementum, which is present in the root. So these are the hardest material of any bone in the body. Amongst them, enamel is the most strongest, most dense. It is compared to iron, steel, okay, but it is bone. Now enamel is white hard covering over the crown of the tooth, and it has got no nerve or blood supply. Okay, so if the tip of it breaks, usually it doesn't hurt inside. So it is having no nerve supply, cannot heal or repair like bone or dentin. So it is not repairable. If enamel is lost, it is lost for all time. It will, bone will get repaired, the dentine part of the teeth will get repaired, but enamel will not get repaired. Now what is dentine? Dentine is covered by enamel. So below the enamel there is dentine on the crown, and cementum also on the roots. So dentine is present on the crown and on the cementum on the roots. Roots means which are embedded part of the tooth. Crowns are free above the gums, and dentine protects the pulp. Well, the hardest and second hardest. The cementum is third hardest part. Now what is pulp? Pulp, pulp means it's a soft tissue. It consists of nerves, blood vessels, and connective tissue, and is found in pulp chamber and root canal. The pulp chamber of the crown and root canal, we have seen the image. And anastomosis between venules and arterioles take place in the pulp. Now what is cementum? Cementum covers the dentine of the root. So like what you call dentine of the crown is covered by enamel, and dentine of the root is covered by cementum. Okay, and attached to the periodontal ligament. Periodontal means around the tooth. Now wherever you can dental or dentine or odonta, these are the synonyms of the tooth, and no nerve supply is there for the cementum. Now what is periodontium? Periodontium or periodontium. So periodontium in alveolar process. bony extensions of the maxilla and mandible that support the teeth. That is what periodontium. Okay. Now what is cortical plate? Cortical plate is dense outer layer of bone covering the spongy bone. Spongy bone is also called as cancerous bone. Now what is periodontal ligament? So periodontal fibers that attach the roots to the alveolar bone and are called as periodontal ligament. They have a nerve supply and blood supply and provides an elastic cushion between the tooth and the bone. So tooth and the bone. So this is the main ligament of the tooth and bone joint also, gum fossis. Okay, and that is fibrous joint. So because fibrous tissues is periodontal ligament. Now what is gingiva? Gingiva means gum. There was some problem, I think. Just give me a second. Yes. Well, small problem has been resolved. I was talking about gingiva. So gingiva means gums. So inflammation of gingiva means gingivitis. This we have studied last time. It covers the teeth and the alveolar process. Well, go to next part. Here we go. Here you can see the periodontal ligament. So this dotted line, is orange and white. This is all periodontal ligament. And you can see the dentine part, sorry, enamel part, dentine part, a small lining is shown to you. Okay. And cementum part, pulp, you can see this pulp, alveolar process, cortical plate, spongy bone. So cortical plate means compact bone plate. Okay. Spongy bone means cancerous bone. So this is another diagram to explain you the different parts or layers of the tooth. Well, here you can see the different teeth, and here or you can see the two incisors, one canine, two premolars, and molars are shown to you here too. Crown, neck, and root, and these are the parts. Enamel is outside, dentine is inside. Okay, here in the crown, here you can see cementum. Okay, cementum and dentine is inside. Okay, and inside the dentine, the root canal, and these are the blood vessels and nerves. These are the jaw bones. Well, now root canal is done by the root canal is usually done by dentist. What is that? We have to understand the root canal system for that purpose. Pulp chamber is found on the coronal part of the tooth. Reduces in size with age due to secondary dentine due to physiological pathological reasons, and orifices to the root canal are found on the floor of the pulp chamber. Canals taper towards the apex, and narrowest part of the canal is found at the apical constriction, which opens out as the apical foramina and exists to one side. New layers of cementum are constantly being laid down. Lateral canals can develop between the main body of the root canal and the periodontal ligament space. Accessory canals can develop in the apical region, forming the apical delta. Lateral and accessory canals develop due to break in the Hartwig's epithelial root sheath or during the development of sheath grows around the existing blood vessels. And lateral canals can be impossible to instrument and can compromise obturation. Root canal system is required for dentistry, which is a part of surgery. Here you can see the image, pulp chamber. Now this bone looks like a canine. Okay, say now you can see the enamel here. I can dentine, pulp, and apical foramina, root canal. Okay. Some roots can have more than one canal and they don't always merge. Single rooted teeth have a single canal can end in a single foramen. Some have apical delta and have a single canal, but many exits. Multi-rooted teeth commonly have multiple foramina, and each root can have two or more canals. Okay, this is all about root canal system required for the surgical cases. Okay, Now the complexity of the root canal, which we talked about, how roots of different teeth are here shown here in this image. Now physiology of the dental plate, we try to understand now. Nerve fibers consist of sensory fibers, sympathetic fibers, and parasympathetic fibers. Okay, sensory fibers pass through the apical foramina and end at the peripheral pulp. Sensory nerve fibers originate from the trigeminal ganglia. Okay. Because the lower jaw is supplied by the mandibular nerve and upper jaw is supplied by the maxillary nerve. So both are the branches of trigeminal nerve. Okay, and tooth pain is considered as the highest pain. Usually the labor pain in case of delivering women is most highest, but overall in general pain of the tooth is considered as the highest pain. It is tremendous, cruciating pain. Inflammation of the pulp develops due to increased pulpal pressure against the sensory nerve endings, and sensitized nerves release neuropeptides and cause inflammation, which is called as neurogenic inflammation. And that is why this pain is severe. Okay, peripheral sensory nerves produce pain, hyperalgesia, which is called as. Peripheral sensory nerves, nerves sprout and give branch to in the inflamed area, but disappear as the inflammation subsides. Sensory sensitization occurs when there is a flow of continuous pain impulses, which can occur in acute and chronic cases. So, because of pain, we have to understand the applied anatomy of tooth actually different clinical conditions of the teeth. Now, what is the nerve supply of teeth? Trigeminal nerve is the main. Cranial nerve number 5. 3 sensory branches. Ophthalmic branch supplies the orbit and forehead, so not teeth. Maxillary branch supplies the maxillary sinus and upper jaw teeth, so not teeth. Mandibular branch supplies the tongue and the lower jaw. So maxillary and mandibular branches of the trigeminal nerves are the sensory nerve supply to teeth, and facial nerve, which is a 7th cranial nerve, it is motor and sensory branches. So innervates muscles of the facial expression. That topic we are going to take later on. Taste buds anterior to the true quadrant implant that we have taken, and salivary glands which are present on the face. Okay, the nerve supply of the teeth, there is no question of motor because there are no muscles in the teeth. So we remember now only maxillary branch and the mandibular nerve. Actually, this maxillary branch will give superior alveolar nerve to upper jaw, and mandibular nerve will give inferior alveolar nerve to the lower jaw. Alveolar because teeth are located in the alveolar process of the jaw bones. Here you can see branches: anterior superior alveolar nerve, middle superior alveolar nerve, and posterior superior alveolar nerve. These are the 3 branches of maxillary teeth which supply upper jaw. And mandibular teeth will give inferior alveolar nerve to teeth, and lingual nerve to anterior two-third of tongue, and buccal nerve to the gingiva on the buccal side. So we have to remember inferior alveolar nerve. Here 3 and here 1 as far as the nerve supply of teeth is concerned. Okay, here you can see branches of trigeminal nerve. This is a mandibular nerve which is giving inferior alveolar nerves. This is only concern of today as far as teeth is concerned. Whereas mandibular has given these 3 branches. Okay, they are all alveolar going to the teeth. What we said here, what we studied here: anterior superior alveolar, middle superior alveolar, and posterior superior. So inferior alveolar is 1, superior alveolar are 3, anterior, middle, and posterior. So you can see anterior, middle, and posterior here in this diagram. Now blood supplies to upper jaw comes from superior alveolar artery, middle in anterior, middle, and posterior branches, along with the nerves, and they are all branches of maxillary artery. Maxillary artery is a branch of external cavity artery. Now mandibular teeth is by inferior alveolar artery, just like corresponding now, and it is also given by the maxillary artery. There is no mandibular artery. Okay, well, now these are the dental problems. 1, bad breath because of unhygienic teeth. Mouth sores, we have talked about it during mouth study. Tooth sensitivity, wisdom teeth appearance causes pain. Oral cancer, gum disease, gingivitis, yellow teeth, okay, dirty teeth, decay teeth, dental caries, enamel erosion, teeth grinding due to some psychological problems. These are the different problems related to the teeth. Now you can see here healthy gum and periodontitis. Periodontitis is painful because the periodontal region is inflamed here, and this is a normal, and this is abnormal. You can see the plaque and callus formation, and you can see the inflammation here. So we are dealing with the clinical anatomy of teeth now. Now this is a infected pulp. Here you can see the inflamed pulp side, and here you can see the infected pulp. So they both are disease conditions. Here inflammation, you can see redness, inflamed pulp, inflamed ligament. Whereas on this side it is infected because pus has formed. Infected pulp with a pus, abscess has formed. So there is a pus in it. Okay, we can also call it as decay of teeth, daat kuzne, daat kivne. Okay. And my dear students, I think that most of the important aspect of the tooth has been completed by me. And uh, I hope that you remember the dental formulae, the structure of a tooth, okay? Blood supply and nerve supply. There are little differences in that. The names of various teeth. For your level, gross anatomy of teeth is required. And I think this is sufficient for you today. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and keep your questions ready. I'll come back to you. And bye for the day. And here you can see a tooth is giving bye to you. Bye, buddy. And thanks all for patient listening to me. And with this, I end my today's webinar on anatomy of teeth. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.